Hey guys, it's Dawn here. Today I want to talk about fire starters. This is from firesteel.com and this is, I think they're Armageddon. Firesteel.com Armageddon one. It has a handle and it has a protective case here. So handle, here's your fire starter. Here's a scraper. You need a scraper, or you can use like the back of a knife or any kind of metal. It's just a scraper, so it's not a big deal. But this is really neat because it's all in one. I don't remember if it came with this lanyard or if I just took a little bit of paracord and just threw that on there. But it just goes like this. Okay, so this is really nice because you do want to protect your fire start. This rod actually can snap, and you'll see when people use them incorrectly, then they'll snap, or maybe it's a cheap one or something like that too. Let me give you some dimensions real quick. This thing is 5 inches long. The rod itself is 2.5 inches, and the little scraper is just about 5/8 of an inch. All right, so you don't have to use a lot of force to use a fire starter. Okay, I think that's the biggest problem is I see people trying to push down too hard. One of the things to realize is that there is a coating usually over it, probably so that in shipping and stuff there's no accidental sparks. But see that coating? You need to scrape off that coating first. So the first few scrapes, all you're doing is just scraping off that coating, okay? So it doesn't really matter. And then when you get down to this, the metal looking part, the shiny silver, then that is actually the fire starter. So that's the one that's going to spark. And what you want to do is you want to go along the whole entire length of it, and then you want to just scrape. You don't want to push down. You're not trying to dig and gouge pieces off of it. You want to slide and use a sliding motion, use a momentum, a quick slide, and you almost want to feel like you're throwing the spark. So you're not just trying to generate. I see people doing stuff like this or whatever. You kind of want to throw that spark. So imagine that this hand is going to go further out. You're going to throw that spark onto your tinder. And so just the handle is pretty nice. It gives you a nice little grip over here. You're going to angle it down, and then you're going to throw it. Did you see how that spark just hit the table there? All right, let me see if I can turn off the light. So you see all the sparks hitting? So that's what. And then your tinder is really important. You want something really light, fluffy, and flammable. One of the best tinders you can get, and I make a nice big bundle of it, is basically Vaseline or petroleum jelly, just regular petroleum jelly in cotton balls, or lint. Dryer lint, the stuff that you scrape out of your dryer, right? Now the dryer lint is a little bit tricky because it depends on what clothes you're drying. If you use a lot of nylon and stuff, it's not going to be as good as lint that is full of cotton. Cotton clothes, or is going to be better than any kind of fabrics that has more plastic in it. And then like a cotton ball, okay? So it's very uniform, and if you have the time to make something like this, then might as well just use some cotton balls soaked in or covered in Vaseline or petroleum jelly and stuff. All right, so then to light it, you're just gonna place your tinder somewhere a little bit further from you so that it's not all in your way and you're not all restricted. And then you want to just throw that spark over there. Now, what I noticed that I also do is I'm holding the handle this way, but I also hook my finger underneath. If you have a longer piece, then you'll get more momentum and it'll get going a lot better than a shorter piece, but it could also snap. And, you know, depending on how well it's mounted into the handle, or if you don't have a handle or whatever, these can snap, and you have seen them snap when, you know, it starts getting frustrating or whatever, and you're digging in too hard. But you should see that it should be pretty smooth, and you shouldn't have too much digs and gouges in it. If there it is, then you're not getting that nice smooth action that you need to really throw that spark onto there. But yeah, so hold it like this, support, you know, give it a little bit of support so that you're not going to snap it, and then just give it a nice action like that. I'm not able to do it that well sitting down and behind the camera, but as you saw over there, it's more like this. See those big sparks? And as you can see with that little bit of cotton ball, that actually burned for quite a long time. And that's way, and it was a nice big flame. So that little bit of tinder is way enough to, you know, catch wood and bigger substantial pieces of stuff on fire to get your fire going. And it's still going, and there's still a flame in there, so you can, that will still light something on fire. So there you go. Just a quick little note about how to use your fire starter. And it's a good thing to practice and stuff, and you know, practice every once in a while, because there is a little bit of technique to get it going, and you want to, you know, always test your stuff and make sure that everything is good, and see if you have to tweak it a little bit. And you know, like, I want to make sure that this stuff is still good and is going to catch it, or if I need to renew the petroleum jelly, or, you know, add more or whatever. You know, just stuff like that. Always test your gear so that you're ready when you need it. All right, so there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.